16th edition of Room 101. And as much as I like talking to my next two guests, it pains me really to have you guys on under the circumstances. Dr. C from the Medical Conspiracy right here at Orion Talk Radio, as well as Randy joining me. As a lot of you know, or maybe you don't, the goons at the FDA had to protect the interest and bottom line of big pharma and the cancer disease industry, because that's what they're doing, making mad profits off of the death and destruction of people's health. And then, as we've seen numerous times, alternative doctors such as Dr. Carpenter, Dr. C, when individuals come along that have an alternative method that hurts the bottom line or goes against the mainstream medical establishment, they unfortunately succumb to, what's happened to you, Dr. Carpenter. Thank you, Randy, Dr. Carpenter, for joining me this morning. Unfortunately, some really, really horrible things that's been going on. I'm just going to hand the floor over to you guys. Please, I caught the very end of your guys' appearance on Against the Wall here at Orion Talk Radio, and so I am not hip on all the details and how this all went down. So please, Dr. Carpenter, Randy, the floor is yours. What's going on?
Okay. What's going on is that we have had a long, long fight against the medical establishment, because what we do, yes, is classified as alternative, but actually is standard medicine. It's not an alternative. It's not that depends of the effect of any alternative treatment as a medication. No, the medication is not an issue. In fact, what we are doing is actually a non-invasive surgical procedure. It's hyperthermia. That's what it is. We are using a laser. We were using a laser for hyperthermia, but and a method to make it selective, but it's basic, non-invasive medical procedure, surgery. It's not based on drugs, and drugs are ousted. We do not support any kind of drugs, and a lot of alternative supplement too we do not support. But for years I have been trying to work with the system, and for years they slam the door in our faces, cover with insults, and go away, because this is too simple. How are we going to justify to people what we have done up to this point? I've heard that for years, and no one would help. And I had never had any intention to become
they offered to let you leave the device with them and let them get back.
Yeah, which this is what they have now, isn't it?
Yeah. They've been trying to get it for close to 30 years. Well, now they got it.
And that device being the laser itself?
Yeah,
right.
The laser that I use. But I am just saying that they try a lawsuit, they try all sorts of things. They've been trying with the FDA for quite a while. I have been fighting because there is evidence that all of their attacks are nonsense. Well, Wednesday, under false representation, because somebody pretended to be a patient and set an appointment and explain a phony condition, and it was kind of strange, but it falls in some kind of extreme cases, so I really didn't waste that much time on it, and I should have wondering. But there is something that could eventually happen, pretty rare. I don't think they knew what they were saying, but it falls in some rare condition. But so they schedule an appointment, and to make sure that's what they explain later. The legal reason for doing it, for lying and for deception. And then when I was there for the appointment, 8 people came in. So the majority were FDA, but also they had the police with them. 8 goons came in, and it was only myself and Wendy, because that's what usually is in the office. And they invaded, they denied that they ransacked the place, but they did, interrogated me, and I have no problem with that because I have the truth and I can explain it at any time, and I have never done anything wrong. I've only helped the people, and all the questions they have trying to prove that I have done something illegal didn't work. That's probably why they started to be obnoxious toward the end, and they, when they left, they were really nasty. Because they couldn't find any reason to arrest me, and probably that's what they were looking for. But they took away the laser, they took away the stain that I used to enhance the tumor so it will absorb the light. They took away my way of living. They took away the money that was in the safe, the money for survival, immediate survival. They took away everything. They have no right to take the money. Oh, because you made this money with this treatment, so working. I made the money working. And they took everything. They took everything and just left. And that's it. Oh, and we'll see. We'll investigate. You come, and I said, you're basing it from the things they were commenting are the comments of the trolls of the web, the people that attack us. Out of 3 people, the comment of 3 people, you come and do all this. Oh, this is an investigation. No, you're not investigating. You're taking away everything from me, so I cannot do anything. I am just down. Broke, I cannot help people anymore. You stop everything. And then you call it investigation? Why didn't you even talk to other people that are, the posts are all over the web that they're fine? Oh, well, yeah, we want the name and the contact of people that wrote testimonials, and we'll talk to them, we'll investigate. Yeah, I know how they did it in the past. So it was a complete abuse.
Selective.
Yes. And also what they do, they instill fear in these people.
Well, you know, I mean, this is a continuance of what's the legal side of it has been happening for at least 3 years, and they got your witnesses for the lawsuit. That even this is still connected to that lawsuit from 2 years ago.
Sure,
they got her witnesses, and they one by one decided that each of them was just too prejudicial to be allowed to present to a jury.
Yeah,
and one of them was a doctor, an MD. Breast cancer cure.
Yeah, but she was not an oncologist, so they consider her not a competent witness. Why? The person that's there start screaming, crying and claiming that his wife died because of my treatment. What is a competent? He was just his opinion. And his wife died. He didn't explain what a real situation of his wife was. She had another type of cancer that we did not treat. And that's what metastasized. And then she had a whole bunch of chemo radiation on the breast and not on the thyroid cancer, from what I understand. And she died. Oh, gee, big surprise. And it becomes our fault. But what they do is they use the regime of fear. Cancer patients are terrified because of the story they hear out there. They're scared to death. They are going through the healing process. Their tumor is dead. There is nothing wrong with them, but they have certain surges of activity by the immune system to remove the dead tissue, for which they've been warned by us all the time. But they're still afraid, and that's why they use them. And they tell them, oh, no, they lied to you. You're not okay. Their testing do not account. Come in for our testing, which is a totally inadequate testing, because they are supposedly, and I question that too, and I have a very good argument to question, supposedly they are significant for the type of treatment they do. But it's not for people that have been treated with hyperthermia and the tumor has been killed with heat. It's not pertinent to that state, in that condition. So their testing is worthless, intended to show CC, it did not work. And I many times said, do the proper testing and I will show you. If you are so convinced that what I do does not work, then do the proper testing. If you're right, then the results will be this and this, and that's what you will see. But if you are wrong, this is what you will see. And they know I'm correct. That's why they don't want to do it. And it's so much easier to insult me all over the web, to threaten me, use lawsuits, to come and destroy my business. It's much easier put me out of work without money and without any means of making money. It's a lot easier to do that than to prove what they cannot prove. And they know that. They cannot prove that it doesn't work.
Well, Randy, you said it best. Very selective in I'm sure in any kind of
what they're looking for, and they're gonna hunt and peck until they find it.
Absolutely. We got to take a quick break. Heartbreaking. It just really angers me that we have a medical industrial complex that will take and do this to individuals trying to help. We've seen it with Rick Simpson. We've seen it with so many just in the area of cancer. Stay tuned. We got more with Dr. Carpenter and Randy from the Medical Conspiracy. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As a lot of you may have already heard this story, I'm a little late on it. I got you guys on my next show after I heard this. This happened on Wednesday. FDA raids. Dr. Carpenter takes her lasers, takes her money. We've seen this with the IRS. They will take and go and take an individual's all their property, all of their assets, and then they can't defend themselves, and then they're kind of at the mercy of in that case the IRS. In this case, the Fed taking all that you had to survive. You mentioned something real quick, and then I'm going to hand the floor back over to you, Dr. C. Fear and coercion, I think, is a big tool that they use in speaking about those who have given testimonies to your treatment that, hey, yes, this worked. It's gone. Dr. C treated me and I'm okay. They use fear and coercion, and it's really sad, and I can't say enough how much my heart breaks for you, Dr. C. Randy, unbelievable. I want to hand the floor back over to you to continue on this.
Okay, but you know what? It goes a lot beyond our breaking, because this is a dictatorship. This has become, it's no longer the United States, this has become Russia. Yeah. People that are dissidents are being stomped upon, they are being hanged to dry, they are being insulted, their credibility is being destroyed by people that have no qualification to even discuss what they're doing. And that is Russia. That is bullshit.
And that's what they say about you. That's what they're constantly saying about you, that you don't have the qualifications to talk about cancer because you're not an oncologist.
Well, a lot of people can study and know cancer, and they're not oncologists. You know what an oncologist means? You go to the standard training, you go and you are indoctrinated that drugs are the only thing that do the job, and then you can do radiation, and then you can do surgery, or you can change the order of everything, but all of those three elements have to be there, and chemo is the major point because that supports the drug company. And students of medicine are indoctrinated, they become a walking prescription pads. That's how they come out of university. They cannot reason, they cannot think, this is it, this is the drug for it. And that's it. There is no discussion. What about the side effects? Oh, they will not affect you. In some cases, but it's very rare, and it is not a case for you, which is ridiculous because every single patient that goes and takes those drugs has the same side effects, and all of them. And then if that were not enough, they give her more drug that have the same side effects. You never get one chemo drug. You have a cocktail of those. That's how they jack up the price.
Yeah, I have my mother-in-law. She passed away back in 2002, and it was due to radiation. Radiation had burnt a hole in her esophagus.
God.
Yeah.
And that was really the downward spiral. She was obviously already sick, but yeah, it does, but that's okay, Dr. C. See, that's okay. As you mentioned, that helps pad the bottom line of the chemo radiation industry.
Yeah, and if you are coming in like we were counting on people, seeing the results, feeling great, standing up and talking about it and screaming, this is what we want. So the medical would have to change what they're doing. And they found out that was my plan, and they worked for years and see how much I fought back. But without money and without patient and now without equipment, how do I fight back? And that's it.
Right.
See, for the last... I'm sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that for the last, especially the last 2 years, since this explosion of these COINTEL bastards, have been out there spreading these lies all over the way, and they've got people working for them even on SEO to make sure that their stuff stays up on page 1 of Google, things like that. Ever since this happened, things have gotten tougher and tougher and tougher, and Dr. Carpenter decided. Really, it kind of coincidentally happened when we were moving some files into storage, and she found a missing piece of the patient records of one of the people who was used as a poster child against Dr. Carpenter to prove that she has a, dangerous therapy. Well, one of the things that was not included in her patient folder that had fallen out in the back of the file drawer was this evidence that she had diagnosis that she had another kind of cancer that never had been mentioned on the news. All this thing, her case had gone all the way to mainstream news. It had gone all the way to the court because her widowed husband was used as a witness in the trial. Not a word was said about her thyroid cancer. Dr. Carpenter saw this and decided, it's time. We need to pull out the evidence that we have and screw what they say about you can't talk about this, whatever. We have the evidence. We're going to do it. So she made a set of videos called Truth Rises to the Top. And right now, I think there's 5 videos in the set. We had to re-edit these things 4 and 5 times each because every time a version of it would go up, it would get flagged because somebody didn't want their name mentioned. Oh, you violated her privacy, whatever. Finally tweaked it down to where it was legal for YouTube standards. And the thing was the trolls had been pretty quiet that week, or it was over the course of a couple of weeks. The head troll, Michelle, though, after the set of videos went up, put some stuff up on a blog, basically saying, Dr. Carpenter obviously wants some serious heat on her. Well, she's about to get it.
Okay, hold on a minute. I gotta take this call.
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, said Dr. Carpenter obviously wants some serious heat on her. Well, she's about to get it. And the very next day, a federal marshal came to her office and served her with a writ of execution, giving him the right to collect on this $2.5 million fraudulent judgment that they said when it happened was not about collecting a judgment. It was about publicity. They knew they couldn't. They knew Dr. Carpenter had never seen any amount of money like that. But now that the evidence is up on YouTube, they can't stand it, and they're doing everything they can to put her out. They tried to take a hands-off approach for a while because they knew they had all this bad propaganda, on the web via their trolls that work for them. But that wasn't enough now because now she had proof. So they went ballistic, and actually the writ of execution was filed the very day after the Truth Rises to the Top video was uploaded to YouTube. I mean, you tell me that one doesn't have anything to do with the other.
Right, right.
It's about silencing her, neutralizing her.
And, Randy, all that goes through my head, one of the things, not all, but this one question has been going through my head. Isn't it my choice, Randy and Dr. C, if we have you back, isn't it my choice if I decide to seek out, the help, the therapy, or what Dr. C has to offer? That's my choice. I'm an adult. I have, I can choose where, what kind of health, what kind of treatment that I want. But these goons at the FDA, they're saying, no, it is not your choice. It is our choice. And
it's not just on the therapist side of things. It's on the patient side of things, too. You go in anywhere that will give you a, quote, official, unquote, diagnosis, where you're in the room and the man in the white coat hands you the big C, and gives you the speech. At that moment, you become his property.
Yeah.
I mean, and they will. She's had patients that got a diagnosis and they set them up for, say, a biopsy and whatever the next step was, and they decided not to follow up because they wanted to go another route. Well, they will harass the living hell out of these people.
Yeah,
because they didn't show up. They didn't show up for their first chemo treatment. Oh my God! Because at that moment, cha-ching, 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 the little bells go off, and every positive doctor.
Real alternative radio. We are OrionTalkRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I got there's Dr. C.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She got an important phone call while we were.
What's going on? I finally found the record, and the record indicated that she was.
We were welcome back. We were talking, Randy, about this. I don't really know any nice way of bringing this woman up, Miss Michelle Wolven, crackpot, if you will.
Michelle, yes. The co-intel from hell.
Oh, there you go. Got a rhyme for her. Randy, please tell us how she fits into all this, because we know that you guys have been battling.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry that I had to leave, but the call was from a guy that can present the case of his wife. She actually was declared free of cancer by the medical establishment.
Ah, well.
Those are rare cases, okay?
Some positive news then, it sounds.
Well, I already knew that, but I'm just I contacted him because I want to see if I can get him as a guest, that he can talk about what happened to his wife and how is her situation. And you see, he's totally disgusted. He can't believe what's going on. But like nobody can believe what's going on, but it still happened. Yeah. But the thing is that, get this, and this is an important reason why I wanted him to come as a guest. I'm trying. He works on oil rigs, so he's not always available, but I was trying to get him to as a guest either on our show or some other show while we are on. And see, he was looking for something because of the type of cancer his wife had, and I don't know if he would be the one to say on the air what type of cancer. It was a pretty sensitive thing. But anyway, and he did not want his wife to be totally butchered by the system like they would do in that case, okay? So... so what he did, he started looking around, and he found the research at Stanford about the nanoparticles and nanotubes for Stanford, and he called Stanford and he wanted them to treat her. And they said that they were doing the research, but the head researcher had quit, so they were getting great results. He quit, he stopped, and he went back to Europe, and he felt that he was working on the same thing in Europe. But the point is that Stanford told this person to come to me.
Wow.
Stanford said to him to come to me. And, of course, everybody has ignored that. It's under the rug, okay? And that's why I wanted him to come on and say, my wife is okay. She got our treatment, and he was referred by Stanford. This is the situation, and this is the thing that they are doing, and this is what they're attacking me for treating people and being successful. Put a stop on what I am doing. And that's what needs to be known. This is Gestapo and Russia trying to put an end to the opposition. How different is that? Yeah, they're not sending me to Siberia, but this is the American Siberia.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that they're trying to find a reason to lock you up, though.
Yeah. I think that they were looking for it on Wednesday, and they really did find nothing. But they are trying to attack me and say that even what you're using to change the color of the tumor, so it will absorb the light, so only the tumor will die, because I use a light that does not get absorbed by normal tissue in an amount that can do any damage. But if you change the color of the tumor, because the tumor is the same as normal tissue, only is constantly on the growth stage. If I can change the color of the tumor, only the tumor will absorb the light, and only the tumor will die. And that's what happens. Well, they're trying to say that what I use to change the color of the tumor is a drug.
The cream, that is, or what changes the color. Wow.
Yeah. And they're saying you're using it in your treatment, so obviously it's a drug. And
people on the chat are saying that the audio is glitching. Just want to let you guys know. Well, it may not be our fault. It may be a lot of weird things happen.
Very true.
I was on with Barbara yesterday, and the whole Skype program just poof, went out, shorted out, crashed.
Well, hopefully that will straighten out here, as we go along. Go ahead, please continue, Dr. Carpenter.
Okay, so basically they pulled out. Well, how do you know that it's not a drug? Why do you claim it's not a drug? Because it's not a chemical reaction that happens. The stain in itself does absolutely nothing. So if you just use the stain, nothing happens. If you use the laser alone, nothing happens. It might help.
The combination of the two.
Right. A thermal reaction is what happens.
But it's not a chemical reaction. It's just a physical reaction is heat. That is not a drug. And they said, well, a drug here, by the definition of FDA, is anything you use to diagnose, treat, or prevent the cancer. Well, that they can put that down as much as they want. But I did a lot of research in different dictionaries presented in different way. But a British medical dictionary said one thing. First, has to be non-food, which that would help Diamond Foods about their walnut fight. Walnut have been declared a drug, so they have to be tested by FDA. Okay, it's food. Therefore, it's not a drug. And I am amazed that the lawyers of Diamond Food didn't tell him that. It's a British dictionary. Look around, find that definition and throw them in their faces. And the same with mine. First of all, has to be non-food. And second, has to be something that alter the normal functioning and alter the effect, is altering the physiological processes in the body.
Yeah, Dr. Carpenter's stain is a thermal catalyst. That's all it is. It changes nothing by itself. In fact, people can drink it.
It is FDA approved. It's nothing. It's not a poison. It doesn't do any damage. Does absolutely nothing for you.
Just absorbs the light.
Right.
Just like people wear light colored shirts in the summertime, and they don't wear black shirts. In the summer, that's the same idea because the color is going to change the amount of heat absorption.
And how can you go? And he was kept discussing it with me. Well, because this is the rules. Where you get yours? What do you mean? Where do I get mine? Aside from dictionaries that get more detailed, will tell you it has to have a physiological alteration of the normal process. Something has to happen. It's a chemical reaction. That's what a drug does. Is a chemical and produces a chemical reaction. That's what makes it a drug. Something that does nothing other than absorb light, like people put on suntan lotion to absorb more light and get darker. They don't do that much anymore, but they used to a lot in the past. Now they're afraid of suntan. So, but I'm just saying, how can you turn around? They're trying to twist everything, trying to find an excuse to find me guilty of something.
Which probably explains why they left Wednesday in an irritated state, because they couldn't pin anything on you.
They got it. We're going to find something, by God. We're going to find something here.
Oh, well, unfortunately, yeah, I think that is a very true statement. They will keep digging until they try to find something. And what struck me odd just now is that what they are considering is a drug was approved by them, them being FDA.
Yes, it was approved by them about 60 years ago for human consumption. So, see, you do realize that chemo drugs that are approved to use on people, they can only be used intravenous, because if you make them drink that, they're dead. Okay? The amount of poison is so high that, and the type of poison, they die. So you cannot, and if you spill it when you do the intravenous infusion, you cause great damage to the tissue. It's a mess, and a lot of chemo drug nurses can tell you. They have to have all sorts of protection. That's now they're going with what they call the port, which basically is implanted there, direct access to your vein, so they have direct access to your body. And you don't even have any idea of what they're injecting into you. And they were trying to tell, do you tell them, your patient, what it is? Well, yeah, they know that it is an herbal extract that does absolutely nothing. They know that. Other than absorb the light. Well, because you have to tell them, really? Okay, there are people that have gone through months and months of chemo. They don't even have the foggiest idea of what they are being injected with.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's true. And unfortunately, we have to take a quick break, Dr. C. Randy, when we come back. Final segment with you two, and it's unbelievable. Yeah, well, it's not really. It's not if you think about it. Unfortunately, I think we all kind of knew that something like this was bound to happen. It's happened before. There is precedence. Stay tuned. 3 minutes. We'll be back. Final segment with Dr. Carpenter and Randy from the Medical Conspiracy. Final segment here with Dr. Carpenter and Randy. Just a really horrible story. FDA raids Dr. Carpenter Wednesday. Comes in, takes her money.
Yeah, all based on an entrapment scheme that went on for a few months.
Absolutely. Fake patient. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, Dr. C, Randy, you guys had some things you wanted to throw out there. I know there's a petition. There is, people can donate financially to help you out in this horrible, horrible time because they took everything that you had to survive on. So if you guys would please throw out what is this petition about? How can people help? And, where are you guys moving from now? I know I had Wendy Lineweaver on the first hour from the Hatari, and she had a quick question. I know it may be kind of early in this whole ordeal, but is there a future for patients? Is this a fight you're going to keep going on? I know you're fighting for your practice, for being able to treat people and help people. That's the bottom line. You have helped people, and being raided and thrown under the bus because of it. From so many angles, from the trolls, from this witch Michelle Wolven.
Yeah, and what I didn't say about her, I did mention the patient record that was found, that something had fallen out of the patient record in this particular case was used in the trial. Her husband basically used as a witness. Michelle is connected to that person. She was a good friend of hers, and so they used her because she had experience as an anti-abortion activist for 25 years or so. So they saw that in her, and the woman continues to this day to seek out. She's got her name all over the internet where Dr. Carpenter's mentioned, and people, she posts up with her phone number. Call me before you go there. Call me before you go there.
Okay. And but anyway. One thing that I want to point out before we go and describe what the petition is, I want to say something. The future of what is done with this treatment is in the hand of the public, not FDA. If people turn around and support me, get together, I need some investment, a non-major investment, some investment group that can set up the clinic in a way that we have a doctor. In Oklahoma, there is an MD. The law of the state, they have to leave him alone. They cannot do anything. He can do alternative if he wishes because the law of the state of Oklahoma allows that. If it's a DO, no, it's a problem. But an MD, and all I need is a group to get together so we can handle the matter in a way that we are protected and we
not
can offer...
not co-opt it to work with Big Pharma's agenda.
No. I will never do that just to keep it the way it is because the way it is, it works. And it helps people and solves the problem rather quickly. You have cancer, who cares? No early detection. You see the problem here? There is no early detection. There is no concern. When you feel the lump, you're fine. You get it treated, and that's it. That's the end of it. And I even have a method that I cannot use because it needs an MD, and a method to easily accelerate the elimination of the dead tissue without surgery. surgery, actually. And I need an MD to work with. I need some people to get together, put the funding, and we do this thing right so that we block the opposition, we block FDA, and we make this thing go. And doctors can also use, the right doctors, not the one that want to use chemo, can also use for internal organs. They have to work with me. They cannot do it on their own, and I cannot do it on my own. It's just a question of spread the word, find people that are actually interested in the health of people, not making money, and it doesn't matter what happened to the patient. Find people there are people that are putting a large amount of money in this worthless research out there that always leads to nowhere.
And a lot of it was based on your work.
Well, but that is only research, is not treating, and it's going nowhere. Some of it is, and some is just drugs. The majority is drugs. Just use the money instead of the university, instead of these people that are crooked. Just get together, a group, and we can do this correctly without anybody stopping us and treating people. Having the doctor there that does it. Upgrade the devices now I no longer have, so we have to rebuild, but we can do it in a way that the delivery of the treatment is much easier. Doctors don't have to go to the pain I went through to treat the patient. It's very tiring, it's very time consuming, it makes your arm sores, gives you a backache. It's really hard because of the position you have to keep in, and you have to keep steady so you target this area correctly, each spot. So it is very demanding on the provider, but I have a way to simplify that so other doctors that will work with the system and not trying our system and not trying to support the drug industry. It can be done, but I cannot do it by myself. I need help. I need people to get together and work with me to do this, so that they cannot stop us anymore. The reason why they've been able to stop me for years and slow me down is the lack of funding, and then the lack of support from the medical. And then once I actually started doing it anyway, and I started having some money, then they attack me and take away all that money we wasted with lawyers and stupid lawsuit and slowing down of the business. It just has been all a plan to put an end to what I do. And that's why I'm saying I need people to come together, put funding together so we can have an organization that can properly, there are alternative practitioners, there are MD that want to go alternative. This is not even alternative. All it is just let's use it. And these are the results. I need help. And the immediate help also is sign the petition at change.org, and Randy can give you the connection how to get there, that says stop what the FDA is doing, stop him and make him return my property. And the other one is a button for donation, and I let Randy explain to you how to get to that.
Well, the URL for the petition is kind of long, but we've made it easy to get to on all of our blogs, and on lasmedinc.com and on medicalconspiracy.com. There are links in the right-hand column that they're pretty high near the top that say support Dr. Carpenter's petition, sign the petition now. All you got to do is click it and go. And underneath that on the lasmedinc.com website and on the medicalconspiracy.com website is a PayPal donation button. It just a little heading on it that says "Help Dr. Carpenter," and it's right. It's all right there. I plan to get the PayPal button up and on our blogs too, but they haven't been added yet. But for right now, they're on the main websites.
And if other show hosts on their particular sites would like to throw any of these, donate buttons up for you all, can they just contact you, either one of you guys? I know.
Jody, because he handles that.
Okay, so we'll anybody who has a blog, a personal blog, and would like to. Spread it out there to that Dr. C needs help, and you're exactly right, Dr. Carpenter. I just threw my email address up on the chat.
Awesome. rsimmons133 at Yahoo.
Awesome. So if you have a personal blog and you want to at least help out in that way by getting it out, then there you go. Email Randy. You know, a call to action is what we need. We need, you know, I couldn't agree more, Dr. Carpenter. We need, you know, individuals in the, you know, MDs that can, you know, work alongside of you, that you can get help from that way, as well as us getting together as groups, spreading this message. I mean, hot and heavy. We need to make this go viral, ladies and gentlemen. We have about a minute and a half. Randy, Dr. Carpenter, final thoughts today.
I just think that we cannot allow this thing to disappear. That's what they want. And do you think that they would spend so much time and effort and money to push the attacks on what we are doing if they felt that what we do is worthless? No, they wouldn't do all of this. Think of all the cost.
Right.
There is no way they would do all of this. They've been doing it for a long, long time. A lot of people have gotten fat. The attorney that brought the lawsuit in Arkansas has gotten so much fatter. It was a skinny wimp, and he's gotten fat. His face is all blown up. And so my attorney, too. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So there is a lot of money being spread out there. Let's have people coming in and use the money for something good. Let's get this thing going. We all have to get together and don't let it die. I have the strength to continue, but I need support. Don't let it die. And also keep in mind, this is the only way we can beat the cancer. You cannot be spending the entire life that you have left, which is greatly reduced by the standard cancer treatment. You cannot spend it on drugs and feeling sick all the time. It's worse than being drunk all the time. You cannot do that, and you cannot let them force that down your throat. Do not accept it. Say no. Just say no. The solution is here. And this is not something, oh, you're lying to people. Gee, this is science. This is elementary science. This is biology 101 that you kill tissue with heat. And how I get it done is pretty simple, too. It's not very advanced physics. It's not about the Higgs boson. Okay? It's just, it's really very simple physics. So,
Dr. Carpenter, thank you very much. Randy, you know, our thoughts and prayers with you through this whole ordeal. Medical Conspiracy, is that .com?
Yeah, medicalconspiracy.com.
And you'll get all the links that you need to help out support Dr. C in this troubling time.
We're on Saturdays at 5 p.m.